Question randomization features are available to allow you to randomly display question slides each time the viewlet is played back. It starts with setting up your question banks in the Question Banks tab. To do this, go ahead and load that tab and then add your question bank. We'll call this one Chapter 1 and we'll set the scoring mode to scored or quiz. So we'll only have scored slides within this bank. We can't mix and match question slides scoring modes within a bank. So for each bank of question you need, it's either scored or not scored, and you can create as many or as few banks as needed. So we'll go ahead and create the bank, and then maybe we want one that's going to be feedback or some kind of surveys, so we can create a bank for that as well and have it set as not scored. Once you create your bank, simply select the bank and then start populating it with the different question types that you need. So for example, maybe on this one we'll go ahead and choose the question type there and then click OK, and then we can go ahead and maybe choose a couple more here to populate this particular bank. Again, you can choose as many or as few as you need to populate within the bank, and they'll be listed here. Once you have them listed, you can go ahead and click OK, and then these question slides will then be generated and added to the bank. There may be also times when you have question slides along the main timeline that you want to actually put into a particular bank and get it off the main timeline. Easily done. Simply select the slide and drag it over to the desired bank. You can also do this in reverse. If you have a question slide within a bank that you want along the main timeline, select it and then drag it to its position along the main timeline. And again, keep in mind you can go ahead and swap between banks and populate them as needed. So for example, our feedback one, the question mode, if you remember, the scoring mode was set to survey. So we're going to go ahead and actually populate this one with some survey questions. So we'll have a rating one here. Scoring mode is already set up. We click OK. We can have as few or as many. Click OK again, and then it will populate it here. Now the next step is, once you have the question bank set up, is determine how many random question slides you want to have set up. That's the key. The random question slide type is what will actually make the randomization feature work. To do this, go ahead and insert the random question type, determine what bank you want to pull from, and determine how many questions you want to pull from that particular bank. Click OK, and then it will add the random question slides, one for each question that it will pull from the selected bank, to the list. Click OK, and the random question slides are set here. And you can actually have different random question slides to pull from different banks. You don't have to pull from the same bank with these. When the viewlet is played back, then, when it comes to a random question slide, it will randomly display or pull a question from the bank associated with it, a different one each time the viewlet is played. That's where the randomization part comes in. Finally, if you have questions that have choices such as these, and you look along the second level toolbar, you have the ability to have them randomly reordered when that particular slide plays back, meaning if I see this dice icon here, I can click it to enable choice shuffling, so that when this particular slide is displayed to the viewer, the choices will be reordered, so that if the viewer sees it more than once, they won't see the same setup for how the answers are displayed. So to sum it all up, you have question randomization options available, such as question banks, the random question slide, as well as choice shuffling available for you, so that you can have question slides as well as answers randomly displayed to viewers on viewlet playback.